Hey everyone, welcome to episode 3 of our dealer podcast. I have Jeremy here with me, and as you can see, we are social distancing, aren't we, Jeremy?
Yes, I feel very distant from you, Kelsey.
I know, right? We have been working from home for a few weeks, as I'm sure most of you have, but we still are going to hop on here and let you know what's new. So our first item of business, I guess, really, Jeremy, is we have done some social distance webinars, right? You've hosted, 3 of those now?
Yeah, it's actually been a really, really great experience. We've had 3 webinars. One was about social distance installation and selling, and we had a record number of people attending that. Now, maybe it's because everyone's at home and not traveling and they're able to join a webinar, but I think it's also been a very, very interesting and exciting topic. And you know, that webinar with the hundreds of people that were on, not only were we were able to present some good information, but we were able to get a lot of great information from the audience. They were sharing a lot of really exciting ideas, how they are using social distance to, you know, still do the jobs that they need to do. The good news is many of the dealers, you know, across the nation, you know, in Canada and across the world actually, are still actually being led inside homes. The government in most states, if not all states, have declared that security companies are an essential business. And because you're an essential business, you can still come inside people's homes. You can still, you know, go out and do your business as usual. However, there are some places where customers themselves don't necessarily want you in their homes. And because of that, we've been trying to help our customers come up with and sharing what other people have been doing to create kind of the social distance install is what we're calling it. It's not a DIY install, it's a social distance install. It's a professionally led install. And the webinars, both the main webinar as well as the 2 follow-up workshops we did, one about sales and one about technical, really go in depth on the kinds of things you might do to make a social distance install applicable in your situation. And there was great ideas like, you know, using FaceTime or video chat to do a sales walkthrough, or using Alarm.com's AirFX tool or a remote toolkit tool to, you know, pre-provision a panel and then drop it off on the front porch. Another great idea that came from a dealer was, you know, actually having the technicians that many of them can't go into homes in some states are becoming the delivery people. And so they're configuring the equipment that's on their truck, driving over to the customer's house, laying it on the front porch, and then stepping back and saying, here's your stuff. Call me if you need anything, and, you know, being able to provide some support that way, but still being able to do that. Another great idea that came out of it was the idea of doing a social distance install with a promise to follow up with a professional install a few months down the road when COVID is over and everything's all back to normal. And it may not get back to normal. This may be the new normal, but, you know, if and when they're able to come into the customer's home, to be able to come in and put the panel on the wall, maybe install a video doorbell or things like that. So, you know, there's a lot of really great ideas, and I have loved seeing the amount of ingenuity that the dealers out there in the world are coming up with to make sure that the customers can get the solutions that they're really, really wanting right now. So it's been really exciting to see that. Plus, we're seeing a real surge in interest in websites, in, you know, working on social and things like that. And I think we're going to talk about some of that stuff later on today.
Yes, exactly. But you're right. We've had so many great conversations with dealers following these webinars. And if you haven't checked out the webinars, we are going to link them to this email, but they're also on YouTube already. So be sure to check them out. But following up with what you just said, we have an increase in flyer requests, right? So we're talking about these social distancing flyers. We actually have worked as a team to create materials for you that are now on the dealer portal. And they include a startup guide. So like what you were saying, maybe this is something where you're dropping it off at a customer's house or sending it to them instead of doing the install with them currently. This is a perfect install guide to walk them through how to set up basics. I think there's door window, right, and motion.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and we could certainly add new pages to that. If you, you know, if you find that your particular install guide, you know, for your customer would need something else, you know, I had someone come to me the other day and say that, you know, there's a particular, we want to use this door sensor instead of the one that's listed in there. The process is slightly different on it. It's a Power G door window sensor instead of the S-line door window sensor. Plus the pictures look differently. Can you, help us get new pictures? And so we were working on that with them and created a custom guide for them. We also had another dealer that said, we love it, but, we want to make significant changes to the format, the layout, things like that, but we want to use all the same assets. Do you have an Adobe file that we can use, that we can open it up in Adobe Illustrator and do that? So we were able to send them the Adobe file, and they're making their own version of that guide, just using the resources that we put together. So, there's no limit to the amount of creativity that's out there, and we would really encourage you to find what works best for you. I akin this to recipe, the perfect recipe for you and your customer. Each of these items are a different ingredient, and you need to find out which ingredients you need to make to cook up something great. And, again, we're really impressed with the amount of collaboration we're having with customers, as well as the amount of creativity that we're seeing out of the dealer channel. So thank you, everyone, for that hard work.
Yes, exactly. A few other things, too, that we've created are some emails and then social media campaigns as well. So take advantage of those. Let us know if you have any questions as well. We're here to help.
And on the subject of social media, I do want to point out, and this is another thing that came up in our webinars, there's a lot of people, in the communities who are now flocking to social media. And as they flock to social media, as they're interested in it, it's really smart for you to be able to go out and embrace that and give them resources to help perpetuate your business. There might be someone that's a member of a Facebook group that their whole neighborhood is on. And, if you had some kind of advertisement, I believe Kelsey's got some examples of those on the dealer portal. If you had an advertisement that said, hey, friends and family package, and you were able to post that, and, imagine your customer posting that, and they now have an incentive through you, whatever your referral program is, to post that on their Facebook page, and people are probably more likely to look at that than they were in previous times. Now everyone's flocking online. Now everyone wants that sense of community. Especially they want that feeling of safety and security. So you're providing a service that not only is deemed by the government as an essential service, but one that a lot of consumers are saying, hey, with everything that's crazy going on right now, I might need a security system to help protect my stash of toilet paper. So.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. I've even found myself using my system more over the last few weeks. Just adding that extra layer of security I've really appreciated.
Absolutely.
So another thing too that we've had for a while, but is perfect to send to a customer to show them exactly how the panel is going to work, is our IQ Panel 2 emulator.
Yeah, so this is something that we created in a few years ago, actually, for sales, as a sales tool. So if you go to the App Store on your iOS device or the Google Play Store on your Android device and do a search for either IQ Panel 2 or Qolsys, you're going to get this. It's an emulator of the actual IQ panel. Now, again, we built this for a sales presentation so that while you were talking to a customer, you could say, this is how the panel works. And you can, swipe through the different pages. You can pretend to, initiate a doorbell call. And, there's a nice little video of Kelsey walking up to the front porch and saying, hey, I brought you some cookies and things like that. It's a great little way to demonstrate the panel. But now we're getting feedback that people are actually telling their customers to download this, to say, hey, why don't you try out the panel yourself? Download this app and play around with it. And while I'm on the phone with you, you can see what it's like, and I can walk you through it and things like that. It's been actually a really, really great sales tool for a virtual sales demo.
Yeah, and it's allowing the customer, again, to see how easy it is, which is something I love. I love that it takes a Disarm photo. You're seeing exactly how the panel works and interacts.
Yep. So here I'm going to go and I'm going to say arm stay, and I'm going to see if I can get this in the right position here. It's hard with the lighting. Tricky. Okay, there it is. So I'm going to disarm the system.
And it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4 to disarm it. Now, if I swipe over here, there's a picture of, all of us saved there on the camera.
Yes.
And it's using the camera on the device to do this. And now there's me and Kelsey and me again. It's like one of those mirrors that's going forever. But, it's a really great, again, you can demonstrate the panel camera. And I think we're going to talk about, some of the things that the panel camera can do, so that you're understanding and able to promote that to your customers. We're talking about that later on today, I believe.
Yes, actually, the emulator leads perfectly into that. So the 5 megapixel panel camera is something I also want to talk about on today's podcast. And through software updates, we have been able to open up the possibilities and opportunities of the panel camera. So there, of course, are the Disarm Photos, right? We just saw that in the emulator. When you disarm the system, it's going to take a picture. And this picture is going to go to your phone as a text message. You're going to see the photo of the person. You're going to see who it was that disarmed the panel. You're going to see what time they disarmed the panel. So it's really allowing you that visual verification. Is this at the office?
This is the office this morning. Poor Elijah had to ship stuff out, and he's one of our interns. And you can see he arrived at 9:03 a.m., and the poor guy has just been loaded up with boxes. Looks like he's carrying a mountain of boxes there. It's a bit blurry here because it's not very focused in, but you can see he's just carrying mounds of boxes. And it's a really clear picture. I mean, it's not right here because my camera is not in focus at that point, but it's a really clear picture. The 5 megapixels that you talked about, it's really nice to be able to see that.
Yeah. It also will take up to 4 minutes of video in the event of an alarm, right, Jeremy?
That's right. So we say up to 4 minutes because it'll take a 4-minute video unless you disarm it sooner, in which case, if you disarm it after 1 minute, it's going to have a 1-minute video. But yeah, it'll capture, whatever it can see within the range. And it's got a pretty decent angle to be able to see what the room looks like. And of course, that depends on where you've installed it in the home. It's another reason why I always tell people, install the panel in the central part of the home, not by the front door. There's a lot of people who have a security panel by the front door. This really lends itself to being in the middle of the home. And so by installing it in the middle of the home, you're going to get better alarm videos. You're going to get better interaction with the panel, things like that. So.
Right. And then some of our newer features are face recognition and peek in. So face recognition goes along with the Disarm Photos, right? So you'll go into alarm.com and you'll say, this is my code and this is my face. This isn't my face. So you'll do like a red check mark, I believe it, or a red X. Mm-hmm. But you'll do those, and then if the panel notices that your Disarm photo isn't matching your picture, you're going to get an alert as well.
Yeah, it's called an unexpected activity alert, and it's a great way to say, especially if you don't really look at your Disarm photos because there's lots of people coming in and out of your house, to have the panel say no face detected or wrong face detected. We're using some smart, intelligence in the cloud, and it was a great partnership with alarm.com to bring that to light with the panel camera.
Yeah, and then with peek in, you can do peek in now, saying kind of like an image sensor, right? I want to see a picture of what's going on in my house, or I want to see a picture when motion's detected, and you'll get those images as well.
So I can go down here, I can go to images, and there's a little icon right next to images, and I can say peek in now or peek in next motion. See if I can get this focused the right way. I don't know if it's going to show on these. Just the lighting's too bad. But there's 2 buttons here, trust me, 2 buttons, peek in now and peek in next motion. And it'll let you see, what the panel sees right now, or it basically turns the camera into a motion sensor, and it will wait until someone walks in front of it to capture that. And that peek-in event occurs, in fact, they also use the same algorithm for Disarm Photos. So the Disarm Photo is captured when you type in your code on the panel, but it will also capture a Disarm Photo after the first motion from a remote disarm. So if I use my Bluetooth touchless disarming, which you've talked about in previous episodes, and I walk into the house, it will say, oh, motion detected, capture a photo, and then sends it as a Disarm Photo. It'll do the same thing, after a voice control, disarm, or a disarm with the mobile app. So any remote disarm will also trigger that Disarm Photo, but it's using the motion sensor in the camera, the same one you can use to say, when motion detected, peek in now, or peek in and take a photograph. So it's a great feature.
That's perfect. And we have a big roadmap for the panel camera, right? There's things that we still want it to do.
Absolutely. We're working with alarm.com right now to see, because this is a free camera in every single panel, we're working with alarm.com to say, how can we get that free camera streamed to the alarm.com app so you could literally stream it? Instead of just peeking in and getting a photograph, you could actually stream live video. And that's just one of many features we're working on for the future. We're very excited about the roadmap we have with the panel camera, and it continues to add value, which is great because this was a product, the camera itself was a product when we first developed our first generation panel. We brought it to the security industry and people are like, why is there a camera in there? That doesn't make sense. And now it feels like that's the standard. So it's exciting to see the evolution that it's had over the past 7 years.
Yeah, I completely agree. So great selling tool. Make sure you're talking to your customers about the different features with the 5 megapixel panel camera that's built in. There are a few other things I want to talk about. We've mentioned social a little bit, but make sure that you as a dealer are also taking advantage of the image packs that are on the dealer portal. We have hundreds of images. We have lifestyle, transparent, clean images of not only the panel, but also of devices as well. So take advantage of these, perfect for social media, perfect for your website as well.
I think if I can jump in on the images too,
yes.
If you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook and you just want to put a picture, even YouTube lets you do this kind of stuff now, just take one of those pictures, post it on there and put a caption below it. It could be something as simple as, our touchscreen panel looks, beautiful on your wall. When you buy our social distance kit, we'll come install it for free for you in 3 months, something simple like that. Or, it could be a picture of the video doorbell. Best way to social distance is to install a video doorbell. Now you can answer your door without having to come to the door and potentially expose yourself, things like that. So there's lots of different things you could do. You could just keep things generic and just say things like a door sensor protects your door, or things like that. Like, call us today if you want to learn more. There's real opportunities to just take the pictures, post it on those social channels, have a little blurb with it that's going to drive traffic to your site or to your sales team.
Yes, and I think you even demoed that on one of the webinars, right? Just
we did in the sales workshop. We demoed
5 minutes.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. We demoed taking a video and doing exactly that, posting the video and then typing out some content for it and posting it. And it couldn't be easier. And through our partnership with you as a dealer, we're not the only ones either. Alarm.com is a tremendous partner portal with lots more images. So if you want more images there, you literally could take every image we have and put it into a schedule and have enough content for social media for the next 3 months. And then you add an alarm.coms there, and you could have enough to do a post every single day for the next 6 months. So there's lots and lots of content out there if you choose to do it. And you could literally take time to schedule all your posts on Facebook, schedule all your posts on Instagram, and build the whole thing out. And you could take, 3 or 4, days to do it all, and then sit back and never have to touch it again, except to interact with your customers as they comment on the post. So, we'd love to help you with it. If you look at the dealer portal and it doesn't make sense to you, reach out to us. We can help. And Kelsey, there's lots of ways to reach out to us, right?
Yes, please reach out. You can always email us at marketing@qolsys.com, and we will respond as soon as possible. The last thing I want to talk about, Jeremy, are our special pricing agreements. So if you don't have a special pricing agreement through your sales rep and distribution, make sure you're getting one. And to do that, again, reach out to distribution or your sales rep. If you don't know who your sales rep is, email spa@qolsys.com, and they'll make sure that you get assigned to a rep.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Well, Jeremy, anything else you want to add? This has been great.
Just that, we love you guys. We, have faith in you. We know it's a difficult and challenging time. Some of you are in areas that are very, very challenging. Others are in areas where, it's not so challenging and it feels like you're having record sales everywhere. So no matter what your situation is, know that situation might change any minute for the better or even for the worse. So be prepared for it. Don't wait to figure out how to do a social distance install until you're forced to do it. Start testing it now. If you want help with these kind of things, email marketing@qolsys.com or jump on our sales and marketing official Qolsys Facebook group and, put comments on there, ask questions. We're all ready and willing to help you and support you. We're in it together. And I believe personally that, we as an industry are very well positioned to help consumers not only feel safer, but get the kind of support they need in this time. So, thank you everyone for all the efforts you're making out there. And please stay safe, stay home if you can, implement these things where you can. And, we're proud of all of you. Thanks for everything you do.
Yes, I completely agree. Thank you, everyone. Let us know how we can help, and we will see you next month.